I extend my warmest greetings to everyone present over here. I am Sai Preethika Thabeti, a member of the Paramita Heritage School, and I have got a question for you. Have you ever wondered why you are the way you are? I mean, why do some people handle stress like professionals while others crumble under the tiniest bit of pressure? Or why do some people find it so easy to trust while others pretend like every new person is a potential undercover spy? Well, guess what? It all starts with our childhood. Yup, those early years filled with school projects, family dinners, and let's be honest, a lot of weird tantrums. These experiences shapes us in ways we don't even realize. Today, I'm going to take you on a little journey. A journey of how childhood experiences shape adult behavior. And no, this won't be a boring lecture with big complicated words. It's going to be real and relatable. We'll even sprinkle few fascinating facts from the book The Origins of You. How childhood shapes later life. So are you ready? Because this might just help you understand yourself better than ever before. The brain, a sponge that never forgets. Here's a fun question to get us started with. Did you know that your brain was like a sponge when you were a kid? Not the yellow squishy one from the kitchen sink, of course. I'm talking about a super sponge that soaks everything up. Your surroundings, the way people talk to you, the way you're treated, and even those little moments you thought that you've forgotten. Basically, it means that your brain is super flexible when you're young. Imagine, your brain is like wet clay. Every experience, good, bad, big, small, as you grow, those marks harden and become a part of who you are. Think about it. If you have grown up listening, it's okay to make mistakes. You might not freak out when you mess up today. But if every mistake got you a dramatic lecture which felt longer than your maths class, you might feel anxious about failing, even as an adult. Isn't it wild how tiny experiences shape big parts of us? Have you ever thought of how someone's childhood could change the course of history? Let's talk about Adolf Hitler, a name we all know for all wrong reasons. But here's something you might not know. Before Hitler became an outrageous dictator, he was just a young man with a dream. He wanted to be an artist. Yup, Hitler applied to the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts. And guess what? He got rejected, not once, but twice. Now you might be thinking that okay, big deal, people get rejected all the time. But for Hitler, it wasn't just about the art school. The rejection hit him so hard because it piled onto years of feeling unloved and insignificant. Now, let's go to Adolf Hitler. But before we get into it, so what's the lesson in this story? Your childhood taught you. So here, Hitler faced so many struggles, but turned them into something extraordinary. Turning struggles into strength. But hey, it was not all dark and gloomy. Let's talk about someone who faced tough times, but turned them into something extraordinary. Have you heard of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam? You might have. India's missile man and the 11th President of India. But did you know that he had a really fumble beginning? He grew up in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, in a small house. His family wasn't wealthy. As a kid, he had to sell newspapers to support his family. Life wasn't easy for him. But did that stop him? Nope. In fact, those struggles became his superpower. His childhood taught him the values of hard work, resilience, and even curiosity. He went on to becoming India's one of the greatest scientists and leaders, inspiring millions with his words and work. So here's the takeaway. Your childhood shapes you, but it doesn't define you. You can take the pain, the struggles, and the lessons and build them into something extraordinary. Now you might be thinking that okay, Preethika, it's interesting, but I'm not Hitler or APJ Abdul Kalam. How does this apply to me? Great question. Ever wondered why you react the way you do in simple situations? Do you get super nervous when someone criticizes you? Or are you super independent because you had to rely on yourself as a kid? Or are you a peacemaker in your group because you grew up at a house where arguments were common? These aren't just random personalities. They are patterns. They are the little habits which your brain picks up, like emotional muscle memory. Now, let's bring in few fascinating facts from the book, The Origins of You. The researchers behind this book didn't just sit around guessing. They studied thousands of people over years. Yes, years. And you know what they found? That early experiences shape our emotional blueprint. And here's the good news. They don't control our destiny. Think of your childhood as like the starting point of a video game. Sure, it sets up your character's story, but you are the one holding the controller. You decide what moves to make, what battles to fight, and what power-ups to grab. Life isn't just a straight road. It is more like the windy path with tough roads, shortcuts, and even surprises. Actually, that is what makes it more interesting. An anonymous writer says that your childhood may not have been perfect, but it gave you the tools to grow into who you are. This means that even if your childhood wasn't ideal, the experiences you faced, they taught you the incredible lessons which helped you into grow who you are today. Now, you might be thinking that okay, cool, but what do I do with all of this information? Let me break it down to you. 1. Reflect on your story. Think about your childhood, what experiences shaped you, and where your actions, reactions, and habits come from. That is the first step you do. 2. Break the cycle. Notice patterns you don't like. Maybe you're just afraid or even have trust issues. It's okay. You can break the cycle. Talk to someone, learn new ways, and don't hesitate to ask for help. 3. Be the change for others. Whether you're an older sibling, a friend, or even just a classmate. Some actions matter. A kind word, a little help. That can make a huge difference in someone's life. So my final question to you is, what are you telling yourself about who you are? Because here's the truth. You're not just a kid who got picked up last. You're not just a student who got scolded for messing up. You're not just your mistakes, your fears, or your failures. You are the author of your own story. Sure, your childhood may have been written in the first few pages or even chapters, but the pen is in your own hand. So write a story you would be proud of. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.